Hey again, folks, it's Wayne with the next part of the Master of Orion Klackon Assimilation Challenge. We are coming along pretty well in that regard. 45 planets by turn, was it 2390? 2390. So yeah, we've 90 turns, so we're averaging 2 planets a turn. It's a pretty good place to be. Also a pretty good place to be. All the planets, all the population, planets population, production, and power, we are leading on everything. Kind of surprised to see these two nipping at our heels technologically, but we do have two upgrades coming in. I guess 3, depending on planetology. I don't actually remember what good atmospheric terraforming does. I think it increases the max size of a hostile planet as well as fixing the population growth, but we will see. I did save you all 1 turn of micro. I did a couple things like send some of the rocket ships around. I wanted to say the Sentinel rocket punch from Marvel vs. Capcom 2 on that one. Sending some probes out. I'm sending a ship to... Yes, I have my remaining dead colonizers heading to the dead and tundra planets there, and I'm also microing transports. So... like I mentioned last time, when you start on the, as our frontier expands, it's not really reasonable to send colony ships all the way out from your core to new planets. I mean, let's just take a look at, actually with the speed 2 transports, it's only 10 turns. That's not as bad as it could be. But yeah, still not a trip you want to inflict on your poor colonists more than you have to. And definitely not something that'll help your new planets very much. So yeah, we are getting new stuff from the new colonies, and as we send them out, we restock from closer ones and just gradually push our way through until we hit our more developed planets like good old Ocean 1 that can, especially thanks to cloning, just keep the load going themselves. And then the rest of the planets are just full and have everybody manning factories. Like with robotics controls and the terraforming, we're up to 360 factories from our original 200 maximum. So yeah, things are looking good. And I decided that, like we were discussing last time, I think the Cylons will be the ones to get rid of first, especially since they took advantage of an alliance with, man, I don't even know how they reached that. Look how far away, and we've made contact with everybody, so I have no idea how they actually reached that one. But yeah, so it's safe to take the entire Cylon core here, because out of one planet way out there in the sticks to avoid socking us with the genocide penalty. Because the intergalactic community just doesn't like it when you completely expunge somebody from the history books. Which I'm always of the mindset that a colony is a tiny fraction of it's a fraction under your empire's immediate control, and not 100% of the citizenry. Because I think it's a bit ridiculous that you fill up an entire planet with 40 million people when on Earth there are cities about half that size, single cities. And then plus it kind of looked like let's move on. So we are waiting on construction to increase the size of our ships and weapons to bring in neutron blasters and heavy blast cannons before we commit to new ones. And then we have a bunch of our planets building basically stockpiling production so I can switch them over to cruisers once the techs come in. All right, so what happens? Waves of green. Right, I have some probes out in Meklar territory, and they're not taking kindly to it. I'm just going to retreat this guy and send him somewhere else. Ooh, a spy hit. I did end up getting the fuel cells, didn't I? Class 4. So that might be inertial stabilizer. I do want inertial stabilizer. Whereas for weapons, I'm pretty sure that is... Let's see, I traded for hand lasers last turn. That's probably going to be ion cannons. And I'm about to get something better. Aha! Perfect. We've copied our secrets onto our CD-ROMs. Okay, let's see. Wasn't one of the plants one of the names that can draw Insidious? That's a pretty great name for, and from an Inferno colony. Let's do Incinerator Matrix. Yeah, it's in Matrix. It always looks like you get more spaces on your list than you actually do. And this should open up most of the Southwest to us. So we will do Southwest Ice Matrix. Oh, and Meklar did not bust our chops for the theft, which is good. So the Mercian are down to pretty much, yeah, they've got some destroyers flying around. One thing that I kind of jumped out about the Cylons is that they basically have no fleet at all. I think we have line of sight on all of their planets, and this is it, as far as I can tell. Well, what do we have here? Yeah, so a bunch of their magic respawning colony ships, and then a couple destroyers. So they are toast whenever we decide to go fight them. Yeah, look how much we jumped up on planetology just for that one turn. How much research we've got pouring in. Should I start on... Yeah, that's a bit much to be throwing all in one field. Class 4 deflectors. We should be able to steal those from the Cylon factories when we raid them. So, I don't feel like wasting more propulsion. Yeah, we'll just leave it there until we get the next construction, until we get the next techs come in, and then I'll just send them back. I mean, we have computer 3 going to computer 5. But I guess you could roll the dice and see if we get our next, see if we get our next robotic controls. So we'll put a little bit more into computers. Okay. Let's see, we got Southwest Tundra. And send people from... Oh, we need to send some people to the Toxic Matrix, or are we already? Okay, good. Perfect. So we do 12 there. We'll send the full about 30 or so. Okay. Do that. So we've already filled up on terraforming. Yeah, I think we'll send a couple more out too. And 5 turns. That's like half what I showed flying across all of our space last time. And that looks good. Oh, lots of people there. Let's see, we should have a Tox colonizer somewhere close by to grab that another... Yeah, we're getting just kind of it's a weird draw. We have a lot of rich planets, but they're all tiny. Not really doing us much good. And we should have... Yeah, so this one will be knocking out those two. Then I think we have one flying too. Yeah, so we'll have that one. So we'll probably grab, I think it's one of these is next. Yeah, so these two are next from there. That'll grab those. And everybody else is probably on our... we're getting that one to you. We are. Good, good. Everybody else will probably be back on cubes to start getting, warships for us. Okay, then the other one we got was... what was the other planet we got? So Toxic. Already took a look at that one. Yeah, we can tell which ones are new because they have 4 base production. Aha. Oh, yep. Incineratrix. And you are where? Good. Okay. So pretty much right there in that same cluster. Grab it from Arbor. Looks good. And what we'll do is we'll send pretty much the full group there and not worry too much about regenerating population because we'll send it from a fertile planet that does it better. So it's a nice way to be able to do that. Cool, looks good. So that'll clone those back in no time. And make sure everybody, all of Tox is flying to a new location. Oh, thought so. Okay. You need to grab, that's radiated, right? Yep, that's radiated. Is there anything left to grab in human space? Okay, where there's Orion and there's this one. So with that, we can have Class M switch to something else, or did I already? No, I did not. You know, that's not bad though. I'm going to need more. Yeah, we'll at least get one more Tox colony ship from there. Do I need any up in Meklar space? No, doesn't look like it. Not that I'll find out just yet. Okay, good. I thought there was an 8 parsec one in range. Chances are at this point, anything in the Meklar back lines they didn't already grab, it's probably because it didn't have the colonization tech for it, like this one. You know, we are the furthest ahead in planetology, and the Meklar are bad at planetology, so their odds of getting there are even worse. So we should have no little competition for that one. I think I have something flying. Yeah, I already have somebody heading to claim that one. And then that also. Yep, perfect. And then I can phase out the dead colonizer design after that. And I'll send that probe out too. Okay, look at those probes flying. What about you? Good. Cool, everything looks good. Still waiting. So when I get ready to attack the Cylons, I'm probably just going to, you know, just hit there and roll them back. Probably the best way to do it. I don't think I have anything vulnerable to them. It's not like they have a fleet to threaten us in the first place. And the only thing that would give us time to, because I was starting to say the only thing I have to worry about, but that'll give us time to deal with the only thing we have to worry about, which are the missile bases in their core. Yeah, we've got reads on a couple of them. And how the AI builds missile bases is that they have a cap based on the population of the planet they're on, and that's modified by the resources too. There's like some kind of inner value rating. So the rich and ultra-rich planets get more heavily guarded. That's why it already has some bases, whereas like this one, yeah, this one just now got its first one. But it will eventually get a ton because the population cap is so high. So we definitely want to, you know, hit them and start moving back. And last thing to check is they have hand lasers. They do have personal deflectors, so we're going to have to overwhelm them and probably risk dealing with a Bullrathi too. What I might do is, I don't have spies on the Bullrathi. So what I might do is actually give them a bribe, get them to, you know, amiable, and actually ask them to join in war on the Cylons, or yeah, probably ask them to join in war with the Cylons if they're still at war when we move our navy, or if they're still allies when we move our navy in. Cool. And do the Meklar have anything else I want to take? Yeah, sure they do. Okay. What about you two? What about you guys? Okay, yeah, why not? Fusion bomb sounds good. Okay. Chomping at the bit for some action. Hopefully the stuff comes in. Okay, this is going to be another toxic planet. We'll do poison central matrix. This was kind of in the middle of the map. Oh, okay. Yeah, 30 is not bad. And still waiting on our research. Frozen, let's go. Class M hits its cap. Perfect. Can we get you down to 1? It's a bit of a bite. Well, but I just have some other planets go off industry, so I've got room for it. Like so. That's a bunch of new research. And Arbor, let's at least get you to 3. Cool. Yeah. So they have. I mean, there's room for another 30 factories to be manned, or another 90 really factories to be manned by the time that one gets done. So that's why the production isn't quite what it could be. Okay. All right, so that's what I thought. Planetology is already there. Wouldn't it be something if that gets done before the other two do? All right. Let's get you down to 1. Okay. Then I know. Oh, hello. The Bullrathi. Oh, they already had that one. Okay. So I saw the bright yellow in the middle of all the rest of that stuff. It's like, wait a second. But no, I think they already had that one. Okay. Then this one Well, the toxic one was bigger, right? Yeah. All right. So the next one coming in, you can just grab that. And then that one's flying there. We'll grab those two in the south. What about... Okay, yeah, with the new range I have, let's send some scouts out. I'm probably going to decommission the original probes pretty soon. As a matter of fact, I may do that next, but, you know, well, of course, with the extra time it's taking to research, I'll at least get a couple more scout hits in. Okay, so I've got there. Anything else within normal range? No. So we'll just have you guard that one. And that was a hostile one there. So it looks like I may need to get some more toxic ships, you know, queued to the middle here. Let's see, that's not one of them. Yeah, let's do that. So we'll have that one do that. And we'll have you join as well. I don't like sending them through that nebula though. Yeah, that's probably going to be the... Or... Yeah, there we go. That'll be the better play. That gets them at least closer to the neighborhood. Okay. And then I just had a regular probe. That one's going deeper in. Got to go deeper. And did you find anything interesting? Okay, that's the... So once that one gets colonized, I'll be able to scout a little further into Meklar space. Okay. I think that's really about it. Well, let's make sure I don't have any colony ships sitting idle. Okay. Traveling. They're all heading to new planets or to... Hey, we're going to colonize Antares. Save that for the sequel. No, okay, we're all looking good. Obviously, you'd be a little casual with this game because it is on only on average, but I mean it is still a competition. We're taking it, you know, fairly seriously. Try to get everything as soon as possible. I definitely want to push through there. So it's not so much that I want to take out the Cylon planets because that's faster, but because it removes a potential complication from consideration later. I'm probably just going to roll through the southwest and then save the Meklar for last, probably. You know, they're going, well, humans for last, but I mean, the Meklar are also fairly advanced, and they're one of the tougher races, but my core is here, so it just makes more sense to deal with all the stuff closer first. And they're going to hate me by the time I start genociding everybody anyway. Okay. Forge Matrix. So it's already at max. Well, because it has in its population reinforcement come in, yeah. What is max on 2 people? That's true, yeah. If it would be 3 people, it'd be 9 factories, it'd be max. It's kind of funny. In that case, until they come in, let's bump that a bit. Try to raise that population limit. One thing, too, I don't think I mentioned it, but as you get terraforming upgrades, it also decreases the cost to raise each individual population point. So right now, I think we're still on 5. Yeah, we're still at 5, but I think the next one takes it down to 4. So it's like 4 per million for 20. Something like that. Okay. I'm still waiting. Waiting for the good stuff. There's some Tech 5. So our factories now cost half what they did at the start of the game. Perfect. I got 2 of them the same turn. Well, I guess you can't fault an ant for its single-minded determination to improve its productivity, but we have missed 2 armor upgrades. We missed auto repair. We missed waste cleanup, another waste cleanup tech. Possible, yeah. Well, nothing else for it. And likewise, just a single choice here too. Fusion beams just happen to be the next upgrade. It's kind of funny I mentioned that because I didn't know that our next tier was limited. But for episode 2, I mentioned that this tier for fusion beam has all 5 choices. You know, weapons tend to be like that. There's a ton of weapon techs, and we only got 1 of them. So the odds of that are pretty low. You know, we miss out on Stinger missiles. We miss out on hard beam, I think, was one of them. the graviton beam, stuff like that. Fusion beam isn't bad, but the problem is that, as you can see, it's just an upgrade to the neutron cannon. It's yeah, it's just another option for a heavy beam, light beam, heavy beam. The damage is great on it. I mean, you can punch through up to 15 strength planetary shields to at least do something, but a little disappointing. But so it goes. So we'll do this one. Northwest. Okay. There's the arid steppe. Let's again send some into the reserve. And yeah, we're ready to switch those cubes out for our new design. Yeah, and true, I should probably also get some missile bases going in the border to the Cylons. I'm not going to put much into it because I have improved space scanner, so I will see a fleet threatening me, and at the speed their ships are going at, I'll be able to crash build some with reserve spending. So I'm not seriously worried about that. There's a Terran matrix, good. Okay, ocean, even better. Ocean, I'll probably. Oh, that's the fertile one. That's the fertile one in the south, not the one in the north. That's still good though. Bump that up. Okay. Oh yeah, I forgot. This is going to be a great one for. This is going to be a great one. So do cubes. Get that. Nice. Man, factory is so cheap with that. The fact where Klackon's not upgrade. I mean, look at that production. Okay, good. So we have a bunch of ships we can just pretty much instantly crank out at this point. Cycle through it. Okay, and yeah, because this planet is small, we're not getting a ton. Now, here's the thing. Because rich planets get a bonus on industry and not research, I pretty much never have them actually on research. I'll have them dump everything into ships. Now, there's a trick, and I actually think this is a little bit of an exploit, where if you have a rich planet, you actually donate to the reserve at that favorable rate also, and then you can feed that into, say, artifact planets, and get that bonus again when you feed the reserve into a planet all on research. And I think that can be pretty exploitive. So I never put more than a couple ticks into industry on a rich planet. Okay, so we'll have them. All right, so let's get construction to its usual about 1/3 or so. Okay, planetology will, yeah, that looks good for now. And then weapons, we want to get our next tier of weapon research. So I'm going to take a little bit back off computers. And when planetology gets done, I'll probably dump that in there as well, unless we get a good, terraforming tech or advanced soil enrichment or something. And you can also see that we're 1,000 more research up than we were last time. That's going to go down as I switch more planets to warships and put more sliders into ships, but it's still, it's a lot more points than what we were at. Okay, cruiser time. Let's see, what would be good? I love the green ships. They're just so cool looking. Well, here's the thing. It's like green has like one or two designs I really like for each size. Like I can take or leave most of these. That one's okay. There's I love this one. That's one of my favorite designs. And likewise for medium, I kind of like this one, the fighter looking one. I kind of like that one's okay. Yeah. So there's a couple in each size I like. That's just me rambling a little bit. Okay. So Duralloy, Sublight. I generally get the minimum I need for the speed I want, which is usually capped out at like speed 3 or 4. Now we can bump that up with inertial stabilizer. But you can see because we just got it and our propulsion isn't amazing, it's still pretty. Yeah, I don't think it's been minimized at all yet. I think space hasn't gone down and cost might have gone down from 75 to 73, but regardless, we're not getting much of a discount on it. So we'll do battle scanner for more accuracy, max out accuracy. I usually get for serious warships, I usually go one size smaller shield than the maximum, because then you've got some bonus from the miniaturization and price. Like you can see, this one is about a little less than 2/3 the price on cost, so the credits it needs to actually build the ship, and about the same, about 2/3 on space, but only for 1 point less of damage absorption. So unless you're at a cutoff, like class 6 shields, when you know an opponent has 6 strength missiles and stuff like that, I wouldn't. I usually don't go all out. And likewise for jammers, it's it's like, yeah, the Cylon they have battle computer 4. Well, we did the math in the intro video talking about the reverse of it, about trying to avoid missiles. But regardless, the odds are in the base's favor, unless you specifically design like bombers to get around that. And sure enough, we can get 5 blast cannons, and I think I will do just that. Now, we haven't actually done much ship-to-ship combat yet, so you might not know what the significance of having multiple racks is. The idea, or multiple hardpoints, the idea is that there are 2 benefits for it. One of them is that whenever you fire at a ship, you fire that entire hardpoint, and you fire until the target's dead, or you run out. So if I put all 5 in there, and I was firing at a stack of 3 ships and blow them all up, well, then I've wasted those other 2 shots if there was another enemy in range. And there might be, since we have 2 range guns on this one. So by splitting them up, we could hit multiple stacks of enemy ships that way. But the other benefit is that in Master of Orion, it's like you move, then you attack, and your turn is over. It's a turn-based board screen, which we'll see when we start attacking. And you're limited to microing your ships in that regard. It's like once you fire, your turn's over. But if the animation, it's kind of funny, if the animation takes longer because you have multiple hard points shooting, and you have movement left over, like we have 2 spaces, you can actually fire and then click on the map, and your ship will move while the turn is over. But if your turn ends instantly before you have time to actually go click, then you can't issue that command. So and some people think that's an exploit, which I think it's a limitation of the UI to try to simplify things. But regardless, so that's our plan there. Avenger is a good name for a Borg ship. I have not kept up on my Borg lore, unlike Thotimix. Man, what do they have besides cubes and scout ships? And it's funny, it's like I used to be a little bit of a Trekkie. Like I bought some of the Star Trek collectible card game in the late 90s. They never did anything with the Borg. Let's just do we'll just stick with the very basic no frills names. Okay, we'll scrap you first. Okay, so we'll switch the cubes over to those. Now the other question is, can we, for smaller ships? I'm pretty sure we can't fit a new. Well, we can, but we wouldn't have room for anything else if we put a neutron blaster on a fighter. And if you're the kind of person that wants to make thousands and thousands of fighters and just deal with the fact most of them are going to miss, that's okay. But I think that'd be a bit wasteful for us. So what about? Okay, yeah. Well, let's see what we have with this. So look at this one Duralloy. We want to have the best computer. Okay, we're at 3 blasters. If we put 3 of them in there, we still got a class 1 shield. Okay. That seems pretty reasonable. Now, the reason why I'm leaving this open is that for our less productive planets, we still want them to be able to contribute with warships, to have like alternate targets for missile bases to fire at, to be able to tactically deal with multiple enemy stacks, stuff like that. It just gives us more options to have more ships. And 3 neutron blasters isn't bad. That will still do damage to planets up to class 6 shields. That will do plenty of damage to enemy ships. So I think this is a pretty good, pretty effective one. And then once we get fusion bombs, we'll go ahead and make a bomber with the speed and the inertial stabilizer, and those will definitely draw fire from the missile bases. And we'll make you... Actually, this will be better for gunship, wouldn't it? The other one will be more of a cruiser. Let's do... assault ship. Oh, Not quite enough room. Salter. That's kind of a. I don't know about that name. uh, mm, hmm. Fighter. I normally call small ships fighters, but we'll go with that. Oh yeah, yeah. I should flip the names around. Oh well, who cares? Who cares? And we will decommission our probes. Yeah, yeah. They're not gonna find anything new. We're about due for probe threes anyway to scout stuff. Okay. So what we do is start with matrix, and we just make sure everything that can produce warships is producing them and is relocated to a useful spot. So this is actually fine because we'll be able to reach their planets anyway. So, and it's in artifact orders. We want defensive ships sent there anyway. This is good practice for a tougher game. Okay. Oh, scrolled right past gunship. Do that. All right. Okay, so dead matrix. Yeah, this one doesn't really need to be doing anything. Okay, Inferno Rich. This one will be, but not just yet, obviously. And you can see with the amount we donated to it, it's already gotten a couple more population points up. Okay, this one needs people. You know what? Let's see who? Yeah, there we go. So I'm pretty sure we had somebody nearby who could spare them. Okay. Oops. Let me make sure we don't miss any. So we were at poison, right? Or toxic. No, it's this one. All right. Gunship. Cool. Can we? I can't really lower that. Lower the turn count on that one. That's fine. Relocate. Okay, that's already going to the right place. Cool. All right, it's fine. Do. Yeah, this one's jungle and pretty good sized. Perfect. That's not bad. Now that'll be less obviously once the first one's built, but then because then we no longer obviously have the banked production going into it. So on the flip side, we'll have more factories too. Okay, and this one has people coming in. It does good. All right. Arbor, that's fine. We still need a couple more colonizers built there. Actually, just the one more, it looks like, from here. Get that one out of the way first. Okay. And if I wasn't the Klackons and I really needed all hands on deck, I'd have the smaller planets contribute too. I'd have them build the fighters, but I don't. We're going to be pretty good to go with this one. The gunship. Is it relocating? It is. We need to bump extra terraforming onto planets with a low population cap. You want more of their industry going into it. As a matter of fact, you might want to periodically donate more too when you see planets have that issue. So obviously we won't get the full benefit, but for example, if we had it 100% terraforming and we fed it 40 credits, it would get 8 more population points. So that's the kind of thing to keep in mind for stuff like that. Whereas this one doesn't look like it needs much help. Okay. Then this one I will have to relocate. Oh, yeah, I won't have to relocate it very far, will I? We'll just send it there. Actually, no, it's it's probably close enough if I'm going after Klystron first. Okay. This is the one that we'll need to, so the smaller kind of planet. I probably want to have build more of the smaller ships. So we'll have you go there. Kind of have another secondary regroup point. Okay, Terran, that one, where are you heading, sending stuff to? Right, because we do need more colony ships. gunship. And it's going to... Perfect. Artifacts, yeah, we can have... You never want to have an artifact planet building if you don't have to. It's much more useful to have its production going into research. Okay, this one looks good. Perfect. Yeah, once the population comes in and I see this planet come back up, I'll put more into terraforming there. But the base population size is pretty good, so we don't really need to here just yet. Okay, we'll have this one toss in a couple fighters. What are we looking at? 3? That's not bad. Okay. Yeah, and this one we definitely need more people there. So we'll do that. Just leave research at a pittance for now. It's like we're making plenty. Similar to that last one, get some more in there. Okay. That's big enough. Big enough to contribute a little bit. 3, okay. So 3 is our cap there. And of course, rich planet. So this one will pop back up when it's done with factories. We'll have a go pretty much entirely on gunships. And well, really, so here's the thing. It's like I mentioned, the population cap on it is so low that that's effectively 60 population worth of industry. That's medium sized. That would be the one building fighters. Okay. This is right here in Meklar space. So once I find some planets to colonize, we already have one going there. Once I find more planets to colonize, we'll actually start it on colonizers. So for now, we'll just get a little bit more in the cubes, be ready to flip those over. Okay. This is a pretty good sized planet. So we'll do on gunships. And we're going to relocate these two. Well, can that fly through a nebula? Yeah, we'll have that be the northern regroup point. Bonus points in that it will help against the Meklar too. Now the problem when you have this many planets and you're relocating them is if you use the Alt-R to switch all relocation points, which normally saves you micromanagement time, it'll actually actually cost you if you have to split them back up later. Okay. Let's let you finish growing. Gunship. Not as fast as it could be, but that's all right. Oh, a poor planet. We definitely want to have more of that going into research. Okay, Tundra looks good. Yep. Nothing else really for that one but to help it grow a little bit. Okay, so that's still on terraforming, so that'll be fine. And then that one's growing. Yeah, sure, that'll work. And then when that fills back up, we'll be good to go. Okay, is anybody sending? No, because this one just got colonized, so there's nobody there yet. So that's going to be 18. And how long will it take to... 4 turns, man. That was done on terraforming. Get another 11. It's going to need that many. Okay, we'll just do the... Well, if it would take 4 to get there, how long will it take to send to there directly? 8. Okay, let's not do that. All right, so we'll just send full amount from that. Oh, it was only 3 more turns, and it's still faster. Speed is the priority there. So that was 10 coming in, I believe. Let's get another 5. Good, plenty. And gunship, perfect. Okay, artifacts. Once the factories are done. Oh yeah, this one will need to. This one will definitely be a contributor. A little far away from the action, but. Okay, so bump that up on terraforming. And how are we actually doing on factory? Yeah, let's see. It'll eventually be able to get... Well, it'll eventually be worth it. So let's go and get started on those fighters. Okay, good. Okay, we still need some building colony ships. Switch you to, and really more rocket ships wouldn't be bad. Yeah, they're still pretty strong. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That one's already been microed to go do more research, less production. That's fine. Good. This one could stand to be. It's still building up industry. Okay. Oh, I thought I had a couple more. Let's see, 75. That's big enough for cruisers. I wouldn't build battleships here, but that's big enough for cruisers. Okay, cool. And then with that, we are done. So all of a sudden, we should be getting a huge jump in fleet strength after those start going through. And we're already looking pretty good. All right, anything to look to be wary of? Class 4, still no planetary shield. That's the important thing. If they had gotten planetary shields, we'd be in a pinch, and we would have to have bombers at that point. But they don't. Okay. Yeah, the Merchant could cause trouble somewhere with those Lynxes, but again, it's like they're speed 1, so I'll know when they send those out where they're heading to, and they won't be able to do much damage to me. I can just rush build missile bases, and they'd be helpless against them. All right. There's a little more micro left on on this turn because I think I have some colony ships sitting. No, I don't. Moving. Cool. Because that's all 4 of them, right? 5. Okay. Wait a minute. Where's the other one then? From Tier. Oh, okay. So Tier was the other one. So I'm still getting new colonies there. Excellent. Okay. Somebody mentioning I forgot a new planet in Radiated. Of course, Radiated probably isn't going to be in anybody's tree by the time the game is over, so I might as well write those off. Good thing there's no silicoids in play. Toxic, which is north central matrix. Another toxic, okay. We're starting to hit the planets on the western edge there. Another tiny Inferno Rich. How many? That's like 4 of those, right? With that pretty much that exact same profile. Let's do. Wow. Rich. Bonfire. Oh. A Bonflirt. Rich Bonfire. Bonfire. Rich Bonfire Matrix. Okay, that was enough. I knew it had to be happening at some point. So, Thotimics and Emperor Sci-Fi Reference. I wonder what that is. There's a, was it THX? There's a Star Wars reference for one of those. Okay. Now, Mershon obviously at war with me. Humans don't care. Cylons don't care. Borathi don't care. I do not yet have 2/3 of the votes all by myself. I would assume with, so that would be, yeah, 2/3 of that. Yeah. Yeah, because that would be 39. I think we have 2/3 of 39, I think. But obviously we can't vote for the Meklar, and because oh my gosh, we would need 31 out of 46 to get 2/3, and that would take them to 35. So we'll abstain. We're not planning on ever winning by a council vote, so no point even throwing a ceremonial vote for ourselves. Okay, we'll do, like I said, about 5 points in the reserve and put all the rest into, well, right now we put all the rest in the terraforming. Then once that's done, and it's maxed out on people, actually might as well do that then, as it builds more factories as it grows. Then we'll put it all on ships. Yeah, you can see that once the reserve spending, what we had been banking on the cubes, goes away, it's back to taking a little while on those gunships. But that's why we have our artifacts planets going gangbusters on research, so we can afford to have these, overbuild our cruisers. Yep. Yeah, perfect. Oh, both artifact planets got done on this turn. Works for me. So even with a bunch of industry being switched over to ships, we're probably still keeping up on research. So we did hostile. No point wasting our time there. Okay, we'll have. You know what? We'll have the really small ones do rocket ships. If we can get those to like 2 turns or something. Yeah. Just every other turn, toss a rocket ship out there. Now you'll gradually actually lose the speed, the production rate, as maintenance goes up and you start eating more of your production into maintenance. So you may have to periodically tweak that to get the ratio you want. But with this many planets and this difficulty, we're not going to have a problem. Yeah, relic-y. Nope, nothing to mess with there. Okay, so rich matrix, and that one is full on terraforming. It's full on everything. It's too far away to ever worry about missile bases. We just go all in. Perfect. We just go all in on ships. Like I said, we could put a little bit into the reserve from there, but we don't really need to worry about that. All right, excellent. So we're already getting a pretty decent fleet flying in. So maintenance jumped up to 183 right there. So we went from basically ships being 0 to 1% on maintenance. That will climb as we continue to build more cruisers. Okay. Search bonfire. You are there. You are here. You know what? Why am I bothering when we have fertile planets that aren't that far away? Like you. We'll regrow that in no time. 4 turns though, that still stings a bit. Yeah, we'll just do it from here. It's probably gonna grow 1 by the time that they get there, so we'll just do 8 and pop those back up. Alright. Then I think we had it's a gunship. A colony ship there. So I'll probably give it about 3 turns for stuff to rally. Yeah, probably about 3 turns, and then start syncing up our ships to hit them all at the same time. And just make another quick check. Still allied, but still no big shield problem. And since for the planets we've already scouted, we can actually, if we're confident we'll win the space battle, we can actually just start sending transports in first, so they'll get there sooner after we capture the airspace. Okay. Let's also go to planets and see if anything else at size 4 we need to send people to. Like you. We had a poor matrix here, right? Yes. That still needs to grow people. What about ultra poor? Yeah, we'll just do that one. Yeah, 4 turns, but might as well. I mean, where else would we want to send those people from, right? Okay, then let's transfer a little bit. Then dead rich northwest. That's you. Okay, so first of all, we can send some. First of all, I need to build more probes to start scanning the western edge. Okay, we do have population heading there. They just haven't gotten there yet. You know what? That being the case, let's just have Sure. Yep. Build some probes right there. Send them over. Where are you heading to? Okay, so just getting them closer to the theoretical action. So they're about to colonize that one. The Meklar have been squatting on that star for a while. I'm really curious to see what's on there, but not curious enough to fist fight them over it. Okay, but once we grab that one, yeah, once we grab that one, we'll be able to scan those two. Okay, so moving tier Vulcan, that'll be able to be rallied. Gunships. Okay, so looks like we're good to go on our colony ships. Yeah, so we'll actually have a fair few. We send the rocket ships too. We'll actually have a pretty decent fleet to send their way. Okay, grab that one. That means you can check that one. I could probably switch to probe 3s with sublight drives, but I'm not too worried about that. I mean, we still got plenty, and because we haven't gotten a fuel cell increase, just a those speed increases, that there's not much point in building more probes than what we need to just to get a read on planets. Do I not have anything heading to that toxic rich? I really need that. Need that planet. I don't. I must have been wrapped up in knocking out the planets closer by first. Well, that's fine. It's probably the safer play. Okay, so colony ships being rallied. I need colony ships I need more of them. More urgent need than I thought. That's fine. And then after that we can send that one going west too, because those are going to be the last planets in our backlines. Then we should be getting these, right? Yes. Yeah, so looks good. I'll have to see what the Mershon have to see what the Mershon decide to do with their lynxes. I don't want to take out their homeworld yet, because that, like I said, that the genocide penalty would be a problem. Okay. Let's see what happens next. Okay. Tier. This is another toxic one, right? So we'll do toxic northwest. Oh, Baron. Antares. You know what? I'm just going to leave this one as Antares. We'll have a battle over it later.